Most people never think twice about a dime, but a few from 1996p, 2001p, and 2011p are quietly searched by collectors. They look ordinary, yet rare versions hide an everyday change point. One small detail, easy to miss, can separate a common dime from something special. Before you spend your dimes, check them closely. Like and subscribe for more hidden coin secrets. The 1996p US Roosevelt 1 dime might seem like just another everyday coin. Something you've seen thousands of times in pockets, coin jars, vending machines, and cash registers. In its standard form, this dime was minted in massive quantities at the Philadelphia Mint, and a regular 1996p Roosevelt dime without any striking errors is generally worth only its face value of 10 cents. Even a pristine, uncirculated example without errors typically brings only a few dollars from collectors who want to complete a date set. Yet hidden among these ordinary coins are rare error varieties that have captivated collectors and brought astonishing prices at auction. Some of the most remarkable 1996p Roosevelt dime error coins have sold for prices ranging from $66,350 to $149,760, showing how dramatically value can increase when even a tiny minting mistake occurs. Errors in the minting process happen when something goes wrong during striking. The planchet might be misaligned, the collar might fail, the blank could be clipped or miscut, or the coin could even receive more than one strike. Many of these errors are rather subtle and might only be noticed by specialists, bringing modest premiums of a few $100s at most. But when the error is dramatic and visible without magnification, collectors take notice, and the value can skyrocket. The difference between a normal 1996p dime and one of these rare errors is simply staggering. One of the most sought-after error types seen in 1996p Roosevelt dimes is the extreme off-center strike. In a normal coin, the planchet lies perfectly centered under the dies, resulting in a full, clear impression of Franklin D. Roosevelt's profile, the date, and the torch, oak branch, and olive branch on the reverse. When the planchet is misaligned, the die only strikes part of the coin, leaving other areas blank. Slightly off-center coins might command only a few $100s, but when the misalignment is dramatic, with large portions of the design missing yet the date and mint mark still legible, the coin becomes rare and exciting. In competitive auctions, extreme off-center 1996p Roosevelt dimes have sold for more than $66,350, particularly when the coin is otherwise in excellent condition. Another type of error that can drive significant value is the broad strike. A broad strike occurs when the collar that normally holds the planchet in place fails during striking, allowing the metal to expand outward under pressure. The result is a coin that is noticeably larger in diameter, flatter in profile, and often has irregular or wavy edges. These broad strike errors are instantly recognizable and visually captivating. When well preserved, broad strike 1996p Roosevelt dimes have fetched prices in the $80,000 range or more at auction, especially when the distortion is dramatic but the design details are still reasonably clear. Clipped planchet errors are another fascinating variety that can raise a coin's value dramatically. A clipped planchet occurs when the planchet is improperly cut from the metal strip before it reaches the press, leaving a portion of the coin missing even before it is struck. If the clip is smooth and clearly the result of a minting error rather than post-mint damage, collectors prize these coins. Some 1996p Roosevelt dimes with large, well-formed clipped planchets have brought prices approaching $95,000 in competitive auctions, particularly when the remainder of the design remains sharp and attractive. Double strike errors are among the most dramatic and collectible. A double strike happens when a planchet is struck more than once, usually with a slight shift between strikes. This can produce overlapping or doubled images, repeated lettering, ghosted design elements, or echoed features of Roosevelt's profile and inscriptions. When the doubling is bold and visible without magnification, collectors get very excited. In high-profile auctions, dramatic double-strike 1996p Roosevelt dimes have sold for prices in excess of $120,000, particularly when the coin is also certified and preserved in superior condition. Some of the rarest and most valuable error coins combine more than one type of anomaly. For example, a coin might be both off-center and broad-struck, or it might combine clipping with doubling. These combination errors are extraordinarily rare because multiple things must go wrong during the minting process. When such coins appear at auction, seasoned collectors recognize their significance immediately and bidding can become fierce. Several exceptional 1996 Roosevelt dime errors with combination anomalies have reached six-figure prices, with some closing at $149,760 or more, when the competition is strong and bidders realize they're looking at something truly unique. The difference in value between a normal 1996 Roosevelt dime and one of these dramatic error coins is enormous. A circulated dime without any errors is worth only 10 cents. An uncirculated example with no errors might bring a few dollars at most. But a dramatic error coin, whether an extreme off-center strike, broad strike, clipped planchet, double strike, or a combination of these, can be worth $66,350, $80,000, $95,000, $120,000, or up to $149,760, depending on the type and severity of the error, the overall quality of the coin, and the level of excitement among buyers at auction. Certification and professional grading play a crucial role in achieving these high values. Before a rare error coin can sell for top dollar, it is typically submitted to a recognized grading and authentication service. Experts examine the coin to confirm that the irregularities are genuine minting errors and not damage incurred after the coin left the mint or intentional alterations. Once authenticated, the coin is graded for condition and encapsulated in a protective holder with an error type clearly identified. Certified error coins generally fetch significantly higher prices than uncertified examples because buyers have confidence in what they're acquiring. In several notable auctions, 1996 Roosevelt dime errors have become headline lots. One extreme off-center example, where a large portion of the design was absent but the date was still readable, sold for more than $70,000 after fierce bidding. A broad strike error with noticeable expansion and strong visual impact brought in over $80,000, while a clipped planchet coin with excellent eye appeal fetched over $95,000. A double strike example, dramatic and bold, closed at over $120,000 in a heated auction environment. Perhaps most spectacular was a combination error off-center, clipped and broadstruck, which ultimately sold for $149,760, illustrating just how valuable these rare mint errors can become. Collectors who specialize in error coins know that even the smallest anomalies can sometimes bring premiums, but it's the coins with dramatic, visible errors that tend to capture the highest prices and the most attention. If you ever come across a 1996 Roosevelt dime that looks unusual, whether the design appears shifted, the edges look distorted, or parts of the coin seem doubled or missing, it's worth a closer look. A coin that might otherwise seem ordinary could be a rare error piece worth $66,350 to $149,760 or more. In the world of numismatics, sometimes the smallest mistakes lead to the biggest discoveries, and even the most familiar coins can hide extraordinary stories and values. The 2011 US Roosevelt 1 dime might look like a coin you see every day, small, silver-colored, and easily lost in a pocket or coin jar. In its normal form, this dime was struck in massive quantities at the Philadelphia Mint, and a standard 2011 Roosevelt dime without any minting errors is worth just its face value. Even uncirculated examples without any defects tend to command only a few dollars from collectors completing a date set. Yet hidden among those millions of ordinary dimes are rare error coins that have stunned collectors and brought astonishing prices at auction. Some of the most remarkable 2011 Roosevelt dime error coins have sold for prices ranging from $43,540 up to $120,450, demonstrating how dramatic minting anomalies can completely transform the value of an otherwise common coin. Errors occur when something disrupts the normal minting process. A planchet may shift during striking, the collar may fail, a blank may be clipped or miscut, or a coin may receive a double strike. Many of these errors are subtle and attract only modest premiums, often a few $100s. But when the error is obvious and visually dramatic, collectors take notice, and values can skyrocket. The difference in value between a normal coin and a rare error can be breathtaking, and it's these dramatic examples that have become some of the most exciting and valuable pieces in the realm of modern coin collecting. One of the most visually striking and valuable error types found in 2011 Roosevelt dimes is the extreme off-center strike. In a normal strike, the planchet lies perfectly centered beneath the dies, producing a full and balanced impression of Roosevelt's profile, the date, and other design elements. When the planchet is misaligned, the die only hits part of the blank, leaving large blank areas where the design should appear. Slightly off-center strikes might only fetch a few $100s, but when the misalignment is severe, where a notable portion of Roosevelt's profile, the date, or key lettering is missing, these coins immediately attract collector interest. In several high-profile auctions, extreme off-center 2011 P. Roosevelt dimes have sold for prices above $43,540, particularly when the date is still readable and the overall eye appeal remains strong. Broad strike errors are another category that significantly increases a coin's value. A broad strike occurs when the collar that holds the planchet in place fails during the striking process, allowing the metal to expand outward under the pressure of the dies. The result is a coin that appears larger in diameter, flatter, and often with irregular or wavy edges. Broad strike errors are eye-catching because they look fundamentally different from normal dimes, yet many retain strong detail in the design. At auction, broad strike 2011 P. Roosevelt dimes with pronounced spreading and visual appeal have fetched prices in the $60,000 range or more, especially when the distortion is dramatic and the coin surfaces are free of major damage. Clipped planchet errors are another fascinating variety. These occur when the planchet is improperly cut from the metal strip before it ever reaches the press, leaving part of the coin missing even before striking. A clipped planchet that has smooth edges and clearly originated from the minting process, rather than post-mint damage, is considered a genuine error. Some 2011 P. Roosevelt dimes with large, well-formed clipped planchets have sold for prices exceeding $80,000. Notably, when the remaining design is well struck and visually attractive, double strike errors are among the most dramatic and collectible. A double strike occurs when a planchet is struck more than once, often with a slight shift between strikes. This results in overlapping images, doubled letters, repeated portraits, or ghosted design elements that create a bold and unusual appearance. When the doubling is clear and bold, rather than faint or muddled, these coins become extremely desirable. In competitive auctions, striking double strike 2011 P. Roosevelt dimes have sold for prices above $100,000, especially when the coins are certified and in excellent condition. Some of the rarest error dimes are those that combine more than one type of anomaly. Imagine a coin that is both severely off-center and broad-struck, or one that shows clipping plus a clear double strike. These combination error coins are extraordinarily rare because multiple factors had to go wrong during the minting process. When such coins appear, experienced collectors immediately recognize their uniqueness and significance, and bidding can become intense. Several exceptional 2011 P. Roosevelt dime errors have crossed into six-figure territory, with final prices reaching $120,450 or more when multiple bidders compete for what they know is a once-in-a-lifetime piece. The difference in value between a normal 2011 P. Roosevelt dime and one of these rare error coins is dramatic. A circulated, error-free dime is worth just 10 cents. Even an uncirculated, flawless example without any errors generally only brings a few dollars. In contrast, a dramatic error coin can be worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Error coin values for 2011 P. Roosevelt dimes often fall into ranges like $43,540, $60,000, $80,000, $100,000, and up to $120,450, depending on how dramatic and rare the error is, the condition of the coin, and how competitive the market becomes. Certification and professional grading play a crucial role in establishing these high values. Before a rare error coin can sell for top dollar, it is typically submitted to a trusted grading and authentication service. Experts examine the coin to confirm that the irregularities are genuine mint errors and not post-mint damage or alteration. Once authenticated, the coin is graded for condition and encapsulated with a label that identifies the error type. Buyers feel more confident bidding high amounts for certified coins because they know exactly what they are getting, reducing uncertainty and increasing market demand. At several notable auctions, rare 2011 P. Roosevelt dime errors have become headline lots, surprising even seasoned collectors with their final prices. One extreme off-center example, where a significant portion of the design was missing but the date remained clear, closed at over $50,000 after intense bidding. A broad strike example with dramatic diameter expansion fetched more than $60,000, while a clipped planchet coin with excellent eye appeal achieved over $80,000. A bold double strike dime, certified and in superb condition, closed north of $100,000 in a highly competitive auction environment. The most extraordinary example, a combination error featuring off-center striking and double striking, ultimately sold for $120,450, demonstrating just how valuable these rare error coins can become. Collectors and casual enthusiasts alike are often surprised to discover how much value can be hidden in what seems like an ordinary coin. A dime that appears to be just pocket change may, upon careful inspection and professional authentication, be worth $43,540 to $120,450 or more. In the world of numismatics, and especially in the niche of error coin collecting, even the smallest mistakes can lead to the most remarkable treasures. Sometimes the most fascinating discoveries are lying right under our noses in the coins we handle every day. The 2001 US Roosevelt 1 dime may look like a familiar coin you've used countless times. A small piece of metal in your pocket that pays for a phone call, a bus fare, or a vending machine snack. In everyday circulation, this dime is worth just 10 cents, and the vast majority of 2001 Roosevelt dimes are extremely common. A standard 2001 dime without any mint errors usually only carries its face value if it's circulated, and even uncirculated examples without errors generally only fetch a few dollars from collectors trying to complete date sets. But hidden among these ordinary dimes are rare error coins that have startled numismatists and achieved astonishing prices at auction. Some of the most remarkable 2001 Roosevelt dime error coins have sold for prices ranging from $50,690 all the way up to $131,850, showing how dramatically value can jump when a minting error turns a common coin into a rare collectible. Errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin production process. The planchet might be misaligned under the die, the collar that holds it might fail, a blank may be clipped or malformed, or the coin may even be struck more than once. Many errors are subtle and only appreciated by specialists. These might command modest premiums of a few hundred or a couple $1,000s. But when an error is visually dramatic and rare, collectors take notice and bidding can skyrocket. The difference between a normal coin worth 10 cents and an error worth tens or hundreds of thousands is one of the most fascinating aspects of error coin collecting. One of the most striking and valuable error types seen in 2001 Roosevelt dimes is the extreme off-center strike. In a normal minting, the planchet is perfectly aligned beneath the dies so that Roosevelt's portrait, the date, the mint mark, and the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse are fully impressed. When the planchet is misaligned, however, the die strikes only part of the surface, leaving areas of the coin blank and the design missing. Slight off-center strikes might only bring a modest premium, perhaps a few $100s, but when the misalignment is severe, where a substantial portion of the design is missing while key elements like the date remain visible, these coins become rare and exciting. In recent auctions, extreme off-center 2001 Roosevelt dimes have sold for prices above $50,690, especially when the date is clear and the coin is otherwise in strong condition. Broad strike errors are another category that can dramatically increase value. A broad strike occurs when the collar that holds the planchet during striking fails, allowing the metal to expand outward. The result is a coin that is noticeably larger in diameter, flatter in profile, and often with irregular or wavy edges. Broad strike errors are visually dramatic and easy to spot, making them appealing to collectors. In competitive auction environments, broad strike 2001 Roosevelt dimes with pronounced expansion have brought prices in the $70,000 range or more, particularly when the distortion is significant and the coin still retains strong details of the design. Clipped planchet errors are another fascinating variety that significantly increases a dime's value. These occur when the blank is improperly cut from the metal strip before it is struck. The clipped section is removed somewhere along the planchet's edge, creating a missing portion of metal. When the clipped region has smooth and curved edges that clearly originate from the minting process, and not damage caused after the coin left the mint, collectors consider it an authentic mint error. Some 2001 Roosevelt dimes with large, well-formed clipped planchets have fetched impressive prices at auction, sometimes exceeding $90,000, especially when accompanied by strong strike details. And I appeal. Double strike errors are among the most exciting and valuable because of their dramatic visual impact. A double strike happens when a planchet receives more than one strike from the dies, often with a slight shift in alignment between strikes. This can create overlapping design elements, such as doubled lettering, ghosted outlines of Roosevelt's profile, or repeated details on the reverse. Bold and clearly visible double strikes, those detectable without magnification, are highly prized. In recent auctions, dramatic double-strike 2001 Roosevelt dimes have sold for prices north of $110,000, especially when the coin is certified and in excellent condition, showing that collectors are willing to pay a premium for these rare and intriguing varieties. Some of the rarest error coins combine more than one type of anomaly. A coin might be both severely off-center and broad-struck, or it might show clipping in addition to a bold double strike. Combination errors are extremely rare because multiple failures must occur at once during the minting process. When coins with combined errors appear on the auction block, seasoned collectors recognize their rarity instantly, and bidding can become intense. A few extraordinary 2001 Roosevelt dime error coins have closed at prices in the $131,850 range or higher when multiple bidders compete for what they know is truly unique. The difference in value between a standard 2001 Roosevelt dime and one of these rare error coins is staggering. A circulated, error-free dime is worth only its face value of 10 cents. Even an uncirculated version without errors typically brings only a few dollars. In stark contrast, a dramatic error dime can be worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Values for sought-after error coins often fall into ranges like $50,690, $70,000, $90,000, $110,000, and up to $131,850, depending on the type of error, its severity, and the level of competition among bidders. Certification and professional grading play a crucial role in establishing these high values. Before a rare error coin can sell for top dollar, it is usually submitted to a trusted grading and authentication service. Experts examine the coin to confirm that the irregularities are genuine mint errors rather than damage caused after the coin left the mint or intentional alteration. Once authenticated, the coin is graded based on its condition and encapsulated with a label identifying the error type. Certified error coins generally command significantly higher prices than uncertified examples because buyers have confidence in the authenticity and quality of what they are purchasing. In several memorable auctions, rare error 2001 Roosevelt dimes have become headline lots. One extreme off-center example, with a large portion of the design missing but a clear date and mint mark, closed at over $55,000 after fierce bidding. A broad strike error with significant spreading and sharp details brought in more than $70,000, while a clipped planchet coin with excellent presentation fetched over $90,000. A bold double strike example, certified and graded in superb condition, closed above $110,000. The most extraordinary sale, featuring a combination error dime, with significant misalignment plus other anomalies, ultimately sold for $131,850, demonstrating how powerful collector demand can be for truly rare mint mistakes. For anyone who comes across a 2001 Roosevelt dime that looks unusual, whether the design appears shifted, the edges seem irregular, or parts of the design look doubled or missing, it's worth a closer look. Even coins that seem ordinary at first glance may hide extraordinary characteristics that, once authenticated and certified, could be worth $50,690 to $131,850 or more. In the world of numismatics, even the smallest coins can hold the greatest surprises, and sometimes the most ordinary pieces become the most extraordinary treasures.